Hi everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia. We are to cover a quick summary of what happened on day 5, 28th of February, campaign by Russia in Ukraine. So the Ukraine war. So it's 8:40 a.m. in Ukraine right now. Actually, it's 2:40 p.m. for me in Singapore, and this is the overall map and situation that's happening in Ukraine. Not a lot has happened in the northern territory of Ukraine. Most of the action is actually surrounding only here. So this, so we have according, you can also see on the other video that I have the quick update that the battle of Mariupol has begun, and we also have confirmation that Talavkivka, this small town here, is taken by the Russians. So now the long-awaited battle of Mariupol has begun. There's a geolocated video of Russians fighting with the Ukrainians within this area of Mariupol. So not sure how this will go. As far as DPA is concerned, Defense Politics Asia is concerned, we did not find any evidence that there is an encirclement. The important town of Nikoski is not taken. Neither have we heard anything about Manhush. So it's kind of weird. But maybe there is a blacked out, internet blacked out, or there could be a case where they prefer to just send the information because they have this, I think, the Telegram group in Ukraine, kind of a bot thing where they can actually report sighting of Russian forces through that bot, and that will help to paint the intelligence situation for the Ukrainian forces. So otherwise, not a lot have changed. There's a lot of artillery bombardment. There's use of thermobaric bomb, like in Otraika, there was the use of thermobaric bomb that killed like 70 soldiers in their camp. Otherwise, all these cities all have not fallen. Another attempt by the Russians to take Bucha had failed. Irpin still stands. Not a lot, just a lot of artillery and missile strikes, rocket strikes all over the place. I also saw reports where there is an artillery battle at Severodonetsk with the Russian and LPR, Luhansk People's Republic, or Lugansk People's Republic, depending on how you want to pronounce it. They have this artillery battle. So I think there's also artillery strike on Vernovka, and largely that's the picture. Of course, as usual, there's artillery and airstrikes all over Ukraine, and feels really scattered and unconcentrated and very random. Because if you're gonna hit them with artillery but you're not gonna move in, then I think it's a waste of artillery. But anyway, of course, the Russians will know better than me. So that's their way they fight. So that's how it is. Mariupol, of course, also under heavy shelling. So that's the update for yesterday. It's very short. There's really nothing much that happened on the ground in terms of the fighting. It's more of just a lot of bombardment as usual. Ukraine still seems to be holding well, and this supply line looks extremely long. In terms of the concern a lot of people have about the nuclear power plant here, this is the nuclear power plant at Kharkhovda. There was a massing of troops here. There is still nothing done here. I believe that the Russians are still considering whether to even take the town, because fighting here can be disastrous because of the nuclear power plant here. So they may not want to take it yet, unless they have a bigger victories around. And this standoff here seems to not exist anymore, but I'm gonna leave it here first. We got some other map like some other like media outlets or OSIN like UA map. They actually did not put this here. They did have the troops here, but they did not have it here. So I'm just gonna leave it there for now. This pathway also not sure if it still exists. There's a lot of things said about Kherson still not fallen to the Russians. But to be honest, if you can attack Mykolaiv, then you effectively kind of like took Kherson. Maybe not fully, but there's also no clear signs that there is a regular units of the Ukrainian armed forces within Kherson. So I just got to give it to the Russians for now. And Mykolaiv still stands. So if you look at the strategic picture, or you can see that the Russians are not particularly interested to take the middle. They are focusing mostly on Kharkiv, on Kiev, or Kiev, if you are siding with the Russians. And there is this intention to encircle the forces, the Ukrainian forces here. Some say that the Ukrainian forces along this Donbass front is very strong. I think that could be the case given how slow the progress is in Donbass. So ultimately, I still feel that the primary objective for the Russian forces is to take Luhansk and Donetsk region, and then beyond Donbass, the aim is to force a concession from the Ukrainians. But the concession now Putin is asking from Ukraine is demilitarization, which is I think is impossible. This war literally just signals to Ukraine that you need to have a military. So I don't think that will happen. So taking Kiev also seems to be extremely difficult, and then not even Kharkiv at this moment. Izium still seems to be untouched other than artillery strikes and bombings, and it's not looking exactly very good. But ultimately, we are still at day 5, and then we are going into day 6. In the morning now in Ukraine. So so it's still early days, and whether Ukraine can hold up depends on the reinforcement that's coming in from the rest of Europe in terms of ammunition, weaponry, anti-tank, anti-aircraft, munitions and weapons, and of course humanitarian aids like food, and medicine. So it's hard to say. Like I said, it's very early days, but a lot of military facilities are actually bombed and destroyed within Ukraine. Somehow there's some level of Ukrainian Air Force is still working, but not much. And to be honest, even Russian Air Force has very limited operations. From what I have seen on social media, there's not much sighting of Russian aircraft anymore, and except for around here, where they have a much stronger presence and air defense. So there are still helicopters moving around here. In terms of fighter jets and bombers, really not much. I think even the Ukrainians are probably very exhausted in terms of their air force. Not sure if they still have any operatable aircraft. There's also news that some of these countries are donating fighter jets, those Russian or Soviet era fighter jets to Ukraine. I think the number is around 70 aircraft. But how are they then? And how are they going to deliver into Ukraine? Is they don't. From what I have seen, the signal was that they will be operating from Poland. So, but even if from Poland, then your range is not going to be that far. So maybe you're going to fly to half of Ukraine. Because you still need to fight, you still need to land, and not sure if they have the range to cover the east side of Ukraine. So that's the general picture. Really nothing much. So hope you can subscribe, share this video, like it so that we can get recommended, subscribe so that we can have more followings, and then we can get the channel monetized. And if you need to know more or to see our reports and some of the situations, the stand, and then the news, you can actually go to defensepoliticsasia.com, and if you want purely about Ukraine/Ukraine, and then you can actually see some of the the news updates, like the Belarus voting, the summary of all the military aids and stuff like that. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe and like, and I'll see you hopefully not so soon, so because my news tends to be bad news. Okay, ciao.